Hello.
Hello.
You don't even have your glasses on.
Well, it's because I was cleaning it. Sorry.
You were like, are you ready?
Yeah. I was like, go. We gotta go.
We were late. If you saw me on Instagram Live like 5 minutes ago, I was trying to, always forget what camera. I was trying to make drinks. We decided to make drinks like 10 minutes before the stream, like right before the stream. And of course, it's an involved cocktail.
Yes.
So it took me some time. So I'm a little out of breath. I was running up and down the stairs.
Welcome, Dano. Let me see who else. Bad
Who's
Batch.
here? Dawn. Welcome, everybody. K2S Bro. I love that name. That's such a good name. So we've...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we've made it to the end of another long, draining week. But we have big things going on. Have I scared you yet today? We leave for Disney in 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
I know. We're so not ready for this one.
Yeah. No, I'm not ready at all.
We will be though. Maybe. We like the Amazon purchases just like pile up every day on our doorstep.
We should have. I think we should have done more on. I don't know if it was Prime Day. I feel like Prime Day was kind of that.
That's where you get the big purchases.
Yes, but I'm also. Is it leery of it? Weary of it? Like, I don't want to just buy just because.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't been really, like, there's times where you're, like, watching a price, you're like, okay, I'm waiting for a certain price point.
Which is what I did.
So.
With my walking treadmill.
That's when it's worth it.
Yeah.
But if you're not, you just see, oh, it's sale, it's marked down. Well, you don't know if they just marked it up a week before to mark it back down.
Right.
So.
Yeah, so I got, we're a little quiet. Steven's more quiet. Boost us. Is that better? Hopefully that's better. You sound like you're in the other room. Oh, this is. Oh, no, that one. There we go. I think we're back. Yeah, Bad Batch. So I bought a walking treadmill. I actually like filmed a time lapse of me using it today. It's amazing. So I converted, y'all, I think if you saw the reel that we posted, the base of our new desk is actually my old desk from my office. And we took the top off of that and converted it to a standing desk. And it's really nice. It's from IKEA, but it's like motorized and it's really smooth. You just like push the little button. It goes up as high as you want it. Totally adjustable. But because I sit so much, because I sit there for my full-time job and then I do the travel agent stuff, and it was just a lot. We sound much better. Oh, me now. But I was standing so much and I don't ever work out and I never like move my body. And I was like, all I'm doing is standing here. So I had been looking at walking treadmills for the longest time, for like probably a month or two, and finally decided on Prime Day. I was like, okay, if there's a good enough deal, I'm going to get it. And it was $100 off. Like, it was a really good deal.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean, it was still like $300. Sorry, I didn't tell you that. But I've been wanting it, and it's a way for me to be able to move my body, but also not have to physically remove myself from my desk because it's impossible. Like, I'm at that desk all the time. Yeah. So I have a walking treadmill now. I don't have my Crocs up here. I also bought a pedometer, like a step counter, and I clipped it onto the little like 4-wheel drive part of your Croc that goes like that. So I can count my steps. I just got that one today, but I'm like slowly working up to just walking more and more and more. Oh, hey, Psycho. But it's been nice. I really like it. I thought it was going to be weird to stand and work because you're just so used to like sitting at your like at your desk and typing, but standing just feels so much better for me, and I have no more back pain from it because I had back pain from sitting all the time. Mm-hmm. So now I'm standing, and I was like, well, you know what? I could take it literally one step further and start walking while I work. And then one day I'll just be like, I'll be running. And like the top part of my body it's going to be like those splits. Have you seen those, the TikToks?
Yeah. It's funny because you're talking about.
Here, we'll go to you.
Oh, let's just go to this one.
Okay. I didn't know you had that one.
We're like live producing.
We're not good at it.
But no, there's like a meditation chair. Have you seen those?
Mm-mm.
Where it's like a chair, and it doesn't really have like a ergonomic back like this. It's just like a kind of like a stool, but then it has like another layer where you could sit kind of like
Oh, where you like
cross
tuck
legs.
your, yeah. I have seen
So you
those.
could turn it around and like.
It almost looks like a sculptural piece of art.
Yeah.
But you can like contort your body around it.
So I was like, ooh, that's kind of nice.
I don't know.
To be able to sit down, I guess. I don't know.
Right? Just better than like a regular chair. Because I really was like, I don't even remember. Oh my God, Cal, it's 16 days till our voyage. We were just saying it's 14 days till we leave for Disney.
I finally got some parts of the costume in, and I'm happy.
It looks really good.
It's getting close. So
yeah.
Definitely like on the right path.
It's just, I think we have, and that's what Steven's volume or something is low. At this point, we have all of the components. We have tops and bottoms for everybody. It's just finishing touches and making it more Star Wars at this point. Which is like, that's like the hard. I mean, the hard part is also like figuring out what vibe you want to go for, how to put all of that together, but then also Star Warsifying it. So like the final, just like putting finishing touches on.
Yeah.
And because we're us, we make everything. And so that makes it a lot more difficult.
Is my mic off? Hello, test.
Is it? Are you getting picked up on mine?
No, it should pick us both up.
I can stop talking for a while. Let's see what you talk for 3 minutes straight.
So
no, you're good.
Okay.
It's just on quiet. Well,
no, I
which
think,
one is it?
I think I'm talking
to me. Oh, you need to be like this into your microphone.
Little ASMR.
Ugh.
Talk right into it.
Don't do that. Sound like our daughter when it's like, you need to be quiet. She's like, okay.
Well, I think that's in general, like in the big
in
general,
life.
In life,
I'm louder than you.
Yeah, I don't talk as loud. And
sorry, well, turn me down a little bit, maybe. Oh, you already do have me turned down.
I don't know how much lower I can turn you down.
Turn off my mic.
Yeah.
And just hear me through yours. We'll share.
Yours.
Yeah, I am just loud, Dano. You know this. It's a fact of life.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Prime Day, we did some damage. The walking treadmill was like my favorite thing because you can move it around, but I just leave it there. That's my one problem with it. I do have to like roll it out of the way, and then I have one of those like those really nice like memory foam kitchen mats. I moved it into my office, so when I was standing there, I would stand on that, and that helped with like back pain.
Oh.
But if I'm not walking on my treadmill and I'm just standing on the treadmill, it does hurt my back after a couple hours. Yeah, so I do move it around, but it could be, who knows. We've made so many adjustments to this space. Like even sitting here today is different than how it was last week when we recorded our most recent episode.
Oh yeah, because I tried doing the monitors.
Oh yeah, and we're not even really looking over there because now we have a laptop.
Well, this is to read it.
To read the comments.
So, yeah. I think the fact that trying to build a studio around the multiple variations of how we record, because if it was just you and I with no video, you would want like a nice soundproof corner, right? Mm-hmm. But we video record it, so then we have to have kind of like a set behind us, so we have to kind of open it up, give us like a little bit of separation.
Yeah,
and
we need some sound dampening.
Yeah,
stuff for sure.
That's the other thing. It's like now since we open it up, we got to get rid of some of the sound.
Yeah,
and then when you do that, that's when the mic tries to cut out. So it's like, you fix one thing and another thing breaks.
Yep. But a few things we want to talk about today. First one, kind of order of operations of how the last week in our life has been. We went to Comic Palooza last weekend, and it was a lot of fun. It's a local convention.
I wish we could have gone both days. So I think the main thing we went for was our friends over at I Am Geek. They were having a live podcast there.
Yeah.
And we've always gone, or we try to go as like often as we can.
Yeah.
But
when there's not a global pandemic or
like we made a extra effort this week or that week because they were talking, so we gotta go support our friends.
Yeah.
And we saw
Julia from the Thank the Maker Discord.
Over there, talking on the 501st area.
Well, the funny thing is she saw... Oh, this is I guess it leads into a good little story. We were walking through the Star Wars. They have a dedicated Star Wars area. So kind of like at Celebration, they have a droid room. I guess that's really it. But then like the whole convention is kind of a Star Wars area. Yeah. At Comic Palooza, the con we went to, they have just an area that's dressed kind of like a droid room. Like they have some droids, they have some photo ops, they have different people walking around like that are a part of the 501st. And the droid builders. It's like all of the costuming groups.
Rebel Legion. And
Mando Mercs. But they're all kind of just there in this whole section. And so we happened to be walking through, but we were like, we're hungry. We're going to go eat. And so you were just like, phew, with the stroller. And you like took off. And I ended up stopping and talking to one of the booths because there was this cool painting. Remember? And they were like, oh, we're doing a giveaway. It's $10 to enter, for each entry. And the donations go to Make-A-Wish. And so we're like, oh, it's a cool picture. It's a cool painting, but happy to donate. And so you I think you just like threw $20 at me and you were just like, boom, like took off. And so I'm doing that. Like
the thing is, it's for a good cause.
Yeah.
It's 501st. It's not really a question, okay, yeah, that's fine. We'll put towards it. We didn't think nothing of it.
But I think we were like both getting hangry at the time. So you were just like, I'm going to go find somewhere for us to sit down and eat. And somebody like comes like not rushing up to me, but like purposefully walking towards me, and out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, what is going on? And they were like, Sarah. And I like look up and it was Julia from the Thank the Maker Discord. And I was like, I know you're a Texan, but you're not this area of Texas. I was like, what are you doing here? And she's Mike told me it's not a dispatch. Anyway,
one of the
she's garrison. Like one of the maybe garrison. She's like the South Texas garrison,
like lead,
or the Central Texas garrison. Like the lead of or detachment. There's a lot of words, and I don't know. I don't know the hierarchy of it, but she's that for like Central Texas, and so she was speaking on a panel, and so she told us that, and so we went back and saw her, and we hung out most of the time in the Star Wars section. Honestly, like we hung out a lot there, but to bring this story full circle. We were buying a lightsaber, and I get a call on my phone, and I was like, I don't know who that is, and I let it go to voicemail, and then I got a text from that same number, and I was like, well, this is really weird. Well, I won the painting. But check that out. Check out how good this is. And it's like a true painting. Like there's texture. I don't know if you've really looked at it, but it's like, it's gorgeous. I don't know who... I think it says Reagan or Regina on the bottom. I don't know who the artist is, but it's so good.
Yeah.
I just need to figure out somewhere to put this because like it deserves to be up somewhere. Yeah. It's so good. So got a painting and a lightsaber. Yeah. And supported a good cause.
Yeah. No, it was very, very much a surprise when like, oh crap, we won.
But it was very different from going when we had a celebration than this one because we had both of our kids in tow. Yeah. Oh boy, that was stressful.
So I think that the big thing on that is we went fully intending to try to record, with the like, hey, we'll get some kind of B-roll and go from there. At the beginning, we started kind of strong.
We had it.
And then
got it on lock.
It just kind of went down from there.
Literally just like a hard stop. You know what I think what it was is our son was dressed as Mandalorian. Our daughter was Moana because that's what she deemed to wear that day. Yeah. And our son wore the helmet for like 10 seconds. Long enough for me to take a couple videos of him before we even got in. I don't think he ever put the helmet on when we got in.
Our daughter wore it though.
Our daughter wore it. And she wore it. I have it on video. She was wearing it, and we were turning the corner to go down one of the aisles on the show floor, and she picks it up over her head and just keeps picking it up and falls off the back of her head. She lets go of it, and it just like crashes to the floor. Yeah. And like a little earpiece popped off of it, paint chipped. And so we had found like the cosplay repair center.
It was really cool. They had like a dedicated area for that.
And they just had a few tables. They had a sewing machine, 5 different kinds of glue, like hot glue, super glue, like 3 other types of glue, and like just random things that you might need to fix a costume. And so we didn't realize we lost the little earpiece. And so once we did, our son and I like went back and found it. And then I was like, well, I'm just going to go super glue it, I guess, because we're here. So that was nice. We got to use the service.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was free, but it was cool. But yeah, it was very different going with kids. It was a lot slower paced.
Mm-hmm.
And they were good. Like, that's not the thing at all. They were really good the whole time. Like, our daughter at one point, she got a little feral, and she was like, I just want to run.
Yeah.
And so we did find like a nice quiet corner, and she's like, okay, here's your bounds. Go be you.
Tired. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just pushing a stroller and pushing all the things and keeping up with everybody when it got crowded, really crowded midday.
Yeah. And I mean, so the interesting thing on this one, and I think I kind of partly liked it, partly did not, was they had the panels in the showroom floor. Mm-hmm. So you didn't have to ever leave. It was very much like you just had to get over there.
I think they had some of them.
Yeah, some of them upstairs.
But
yeah,
you wouldn't know.
So it was cool because you didn't have to like leave.
Mm-hmm.
So you could just kind of hang around in an area because I know a panel is going to be coming up. Now, the part of it was loud, so they had to make sure the equipment was working just as good.
Yeah. And then they also had like 5 stages right next to each other.
When people were talking. And
there was one like next to I Am Geek Show. There was like this one really loud guy. And so they were like, we felt like we were having to scream. I mean, you could help that, right? You could spread the stages out a little bit, but it was nice because it was just like, oh, Julia's presenting, for the 501st, so let's go pop over there real quick. It was very easy to get around.
Yeah.
That was nice.
So, and again, it's a smaller con, so it's not, it's nice that it's not too spread apart because I think it would have kind of been more of a hassle to try to get upstairs to go see one, try to go downstairs, and then, 30 minutes, I got to go back up or whatever. It
would have been nice, like you said, though, to go a second day so that we could see some of the other stuff.
Yeah.
I've never seen Quidditch in all the years that we've gone. I don't know if they do it anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. We would always miss it, and then they would always have the gaming stuff upstairs too.
Yeah.
The gaming tournaments up. Probably our son probably would have liked that.
Yeah. We never made it upstairs. Yeah. But there was plenty to do, and there's tons of stuff to see. But it was we did bring Betty and Sammy, and it was very different because we're very obscure characters. Like Betty Bantha is just like some made up character that it was just like an inside joke. And then you're Sammy from Star Cruiser with like a droid from a video game. So it was just like at Star Wars Celebration, lots of people were in on the jokes. Yeah. It wasn't so much the case here. We got stopped a few times, but
the funny thing is it's not just specifically Star Wars when there's a ton of Tanjiro cosplays. It's a Demon Slayer.
Yep.
But like everybody was Tanjiro.
I felt like the cosplayers, it was mostly anime.
Yeah.
Like not just Demon Slayer, but a lot of anime.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree.
I mean, there were some random ones. Like there was a beautiful Princess Tiana. Like she was like, she got plucked from the Disney parks and got put in that. Like she was so good.
It was at Queen Amidala too.
The Queen Amidala was really good. There was a Deadpool one. I need to post the reel of it. It was so good. So it was Deadpool from the second movie.
Yeah.
When spoiler alert, but it's on Disney Plus now, so it's okay. He loses his legs and he has the toddler legs and he's sitting on the couch. It was that cosplay, but he had like a couch. So he had the couch started at his waist and he had the toddler legs coming out of it. And then there was a whole couch next to him. And so if somebody wanted to take a picture, he would like kneel down and then the couch was on the floor and the person could sit on the couch next to him. It was so good.
Yeah, it was good.
Like I was so, that was the best cosplay we saw. But yeah, it's fun. It's a way different vibe than Celebration where everybody's there for the same fandom.
Yeah.
But that was cool too, because then you get to see other random things. Oh, speaking of it, we could show off what you picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things I always like to do at just any con is try to pick up like artwork. And so we found.
Oh, I'll hit you.
My son really liked this Charizard, kind of with negative space. And on the same booth, the guy had some Demon Slayer stuff. So you know what? I'm a fandom of other things, so I'll pick it up. I'll find a spot for it. So, we gotta appreciate. We gotta. A little bit of that. A little bit of that.
That's good. It's really good.
So yeah, it's cool. It's cool going to again just to show support to artists, and then also while we were there, one of the artists recognized us.
Yeah.
And stopped us and like, hey, I thought they were just wanting to, he was just wanting to talk to us because of our costumes, but he was like, no, he watches the show, and so while we were sitting there, we were chatting with him.
It was a little like a Bao Baymax.
Yeah.
It was super cute.
So, picked up some art.
So Frank Campos, that was the artist that with the Bao Baymax.
Yeah.
Well, that was really cool. I was not expecting for anybody to know who we were, aside from our children.
Yeah. So that was fun. That was
Bao-Max. Yeah, that works.
And he had some cool like
He had
watercolor.
hand-drawn stuff.
Yeah.
Like he had 3 of the characters from Up, and I was going to buy that one, and then our son was like, I like this one.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, fair enough. You can have that one.
Yeah, because we typically, that's where the art kind of ends up. Is we change the little color scheme in his room and let him put some art up.
Yeah. Well, the art that you had behind you was from Comic Palooza. The Klaus art that we had.
Klaus,
yeah, we had. I think that was it. But yeah, that's pretty much any art that hangs in our house is from Comic Palooza.
Yeah. But I mean, again, that's the part that I like is the one-off pieces that you're going to find there. Mm-hmm. That you may be able to pick them up later, but having them there with the artist, you could just appreciate it while they're there.
Yeah. So we did that, and then I mentioned that we did about a lightsaber. So hold on, this is gonna be really unflattering while I go reach for it. So there were, unlike most conventions, there were like 2 lightsaber booths. That was it. There were only 2 that you could buy. And one of them was like one of the bigger ones that's at all of the conventions.
Ultra Saber.
I think it was Ultra. And then there was another one I didn't realize is like a local, like a small business. They're called Crimson Dawn. Great name. But they had what I've been looking for, which is it's called a flow saber. I was like, I want to spin. And they're like, you would like a flow saber. I was like, okay. And so they were really cool. They walked me through like all the different options. Like
We're trying.
We got to meet the owner of the company. He was really cool. I think he went by Omega. Like, it's not his real name, but he went by Omega. And I was like, oh, that's cool. He's like really into it. But anyway, so it's got like, and it's good. Like for the price, like it's a really good price point. It's a really long blade though. That's my one gripe with it is I got like little T-Rex arms. So I have to be careful like spinning it, but it's good. It doesn't have any of the like sticky outy parts. This is the worst lightsaber. Dano's laughing, I'm sure, at my terrible lightsaber review. But but it has the fonts, is that what they call them? Like the different sounds and everything. It has like a color changing mode where it just cycles through. Yeah, I'm not going to show off my lightsaber spin. It's a work in progress, okay? But yeah, I mean, it's really good. It goes through all the colors. So we've stopped it at like orange and teal and pink and all the silly non-traditional colors. Yeah. It's got songs. It's got voices. It was not like, it's a really good investment. I was very...
Well, especially for what you plan on using, like just to...
And they're durable. One guy was like, because somebody was like, can you fight with them? And he like grabbed 2 of them and he was like banging the crap out of them. I was like, oh. Like, I will not be doing that. I will be doing my sad little spins around the house. But yeah, so we didn't do too much damage. Like a little bit of damage, not too much damage.
How much was it?
$90, I think. It was not bad.
Yeah.
And it was cool. They you pick the
They even had
they had nice ones.
like a mystery box too, right?
Yeah.
So it was a little bit cheaper, and it was kind of just one of the random ones on the.
Yeah. So mine was either $80 or $90, and then you could do a mystery box, and it came in I think you got to keep the box or no?
No.
There's no way, right?
Yeah.
But it was like $10 cheaper, and you would get any of those little flow sabers that were within that price, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, I think that was the big thing that you were looking for, is just not so much ornateness to it, because you were planning on.
Yeah, and I didn't even really care about the voices of the characters and the music and the colors and all that stuff. I was like, I just really want something I can spin around and not beat the crap out of my knuckles on these legacy sabers that we have. So that was cool. And of course the kids running around with it. Go eat Dano. But yeah, that was Comic Palooza. I mean, nothing else really. We stayed a good amount of time. We were there pretty much we may have been there the entire day, actually, because it got pretty. It was clearing out a lot by the time we left, which was 6:30 or 7.
Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to think of when it was supposed to be fully closed.
And then we went and ate Chinese food in our costumes.
That was funny.
Because there was also an Astros game that day, at the same time. Yeah. So it was just a weird mix of walking to the car and then going to eat a nearby restaurant. And there's just a bunch of baseball fans. And then
I was waiting for someone to say
oh, so what are you?
Wearing a costume.
Oh, because yours was yours is kind of Astros colors.
It kind of is. But I was just going to, if they were going to tease us for wearing a costume, I would tease them back for wearing baseball, Yep. You're not a baseball player. You don't have to wear a baseball jersey.
Sorry, you're not a space mechanic. You don't have to wear a jumpsuit. But no, it was really fun. And it was just nice to get out, and be out all day. But we were much better prepared for this one. This is the last thing I'll say on it. We were much better prepared for this one than Celebration, and that we brought food, which was clutch, especially with the kids.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because there's just a line for food at those things. It's always long. Everybody wants to eat at the same time, and there's only so many food vendors they can realistically put in there to accommodate all those people. So we were lame, and we brought lunches and brought snacks, and it worked out really well. We were starting to get hangry, but we never got fully hangry because we were good. But then next thing we want to talk about is the Disney Wish.
Yeah.
And we have an announcement.
No, we don't.
Oh. I thought we had an announcement.
Nice trying to put me on the spot, but not today.
Next time I'll get you. Next time. But it was fun. We got to talk to our friend Brooke McDonald. Yeah. We hadn't seen her, or really, I talked to her on Instagram probably every single day, but we hadn't really hung out with her since Celebration. Yeah. So that was fun to sit down with her because she was on the christening voyage. Yeah. I don't know what the difference between a christening voyage, an inaugural voyage, a maiden voyage. But they didn't even do that. It was fake. Did you see it?
No, she said they saw it on.
No, it was a virtual.
Video.
No, it was a virtual thing. It was literally a bunch of screens, and it was an 8-bit champagne.
That's still the christening of it.
No champagne hit the side of that ship that was seen to the public. Yeah. We didn't.
But yeah, it was. I definitely am more open to it just because there is a lot of things to do. I think one of the big things that, and I talked about it, was I always felt like it was just going to be tight. Just small rooms.
Tight?
No, not.
Oh.
Not tight.
Oh, sorry.
But no, I thought it was just going to kind of be, feel like I'm on a ship.
You wanted to say prison cell, didn't you?
No. what I was thinking is like Titanic, where it was just like the small rooms. There's bunk beds. Everybody's sleeping on top of each other.
But
or I mean, because we have big battleships here, and we've visited them, and so it's like small.
okay, first of all, it's a battleship, not meant for
Again,
like luxury
as far
cruising.
as ships go, these are the only ships that I've been
Where
on.
it's like 5 foot tall ceilings and everybody's having to crouch through it, and there's no air conditioning.
Yeah. So that's when I'm
When's
in
the
my
last-
head. I'm picturing a ship.
When's the last time you went on the battleship?
It's been years.
Yeah, like decades probably,
So
right?
it was little when I was small. Now as an adult, it's.
I love that
tiny.
you think people would pay thousands of dollars to go.
I was like, hey man, that's what you like to
It's
do.
like a hostel on sea.
Yeah.
It looks like so much fun though.
Yeah.
Like, and I think there's plenty of Star Wars stuff on the ships, but this one's special because it has that hyperspace lounge. So it's reminiscent of like a sublight lounge.
Which I think it's a good tease of like Sublight. I think that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of Sublight,
But kind of like a Dryden Voss type of like, I don't know how to describe it. Sublight Lounge has like the warm, like orange. It's got like warmth to it.
Yeah.
Whereas the Dryden Voss felt very sleek and very like black and gold kind of aesthetics.
I could see that.
But I like that it's small. I know everybody's saying that there's an issue with it being so small. And I think we've heard there's like 40 seats on it.
Yeah.
But I think to your point, like you don't want to feel like you're crammed into, like you don't want to feel like you're on the Titanic when there's just like you're around all the people on the ship all the time. Like you get to have these little intimate things that you go do and you just kind of pop around. And so it doesn't feel like you're on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
I think it's nice. So actually my brother is on the ship right now.
Oh, he's on right now?
Yeah, he was sending me pictures. They like, because I told him, I was like, the first thing you do, and listen to me, you go make a reservation at Hyperspace Lounge. And I think they like got in right away.
Oh.
Because they were like sending me pictures of them. Like, I didn't see them drinking anything. So maybe they just went in to like make the reservations and took some pictures. I got pictures of them there and in front of the sign. And like, they had the open house for the kids club on the cargo. Is it Cargo Bay?
Yeah.
It was Cargo Bay. So they had like, they were just sending me pictures of all of that. And I was just like, oh, it was great. I'm so excited for them.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited for them.
So, but yeah, I mean, just hearing about it.
Danny says Dano's on the ship. Maybe he said he had to go eat and maybe his assigned dining time.
But no, just like seeing it, it's, got me thinking about it. Like, oh, maybe we should. Maybe I'll like, if that's the last thing I do, then it was a happy thing.
Okay, so what are things
that's
you
like
need
a
to
fear.
do?
Again, I don't know what it is. It's just like,
But we
I'm
fly
weird.
like all the time. Like when's the last time there was a cruise ship accident?
I don't want to hear. I don't want to know about it. But that's more where I like.
Fun fact, do you know all cruise ships have morgues on them?
I don't need to know that.
But do you know why? Well, one, because people die. But two, like people will retire and just like live on cruise ships until they die. That's how much people, like they're just like you. So you're going to retire and go live on a cruise ship if it's the last thing you do. But seriously, people will go live because you can do
I remember
it.
seeing something like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, now you could like remote work too. So
You just buy the Wi-Fi package.
Yeah.
Apparently the Wi-Fi package is pretty good. Heard many of the guests have tested positive for COVID. I think it's just people are back out and about now. And they did release, the CDC is no longer providing guidance on doing COVID testing for cruising as of this week. And I think one of them, I think Virgin was like, okay, we're not testing anymore, but none of the other ones have relaxed their testing at this point. But it's going to happen. But at the same time, it's like clearly the testing's not foolproof. So,
and I think that's because there's the could be test if, for this situation, testing negative, but still be a carrier, I'm guessing somehow.
well, for Disney Cruise Line specifically, if if you're 5 and up, you have to be vaccinated, but you test 2 days before you sail. And then most people head to Disney World a day or two before they go to the parks, and then go get on the cruise ship. So they could be getting COVID from the parks and then bringing it on the ship and then spreading it around the ship. Like, it's,
yeah.
If you're going to be out and about, I think it's just a risk. But I think eventually we'll go. It's exciting. Here's the thing, though, is I think because this is the first cruise, like, new Disney cruise ship in such a long time, we're not going to want to go on the older cruise ships, because we're going to be like, well, there's Hyperspace Lounge on this one, and there's Worlds of Marvel, and there's Arendelle.
That's my fear, is we'll make this the only one that we go on. Which
is silly, because there is a Disney cruise line that, like, sails out of, like, right by us. Like, the Galveston port is not too far away. Yeah. So, whoops. I mean, we weren't cruisers before, right? So we're star cruisers.
Yeah. So.
Got the costume ready?
Not yet.
I know. Here's the thing. I just got to catch up on my travel agent work, and then I can work on costumes. And I say that every day. I tell you the same story every single day. I'm like, okay.
I need 5 more minutes. I know. 5 more minutes to work on
I ate my dinner cold tonight because I was like, I just need to get this coat out. But it's like, it's great. I mean, business is booming, which is fantastic. But like every night I go to bed and I'm like, I'm finally caught up. I just have 3 more things to do. And they're little things. And then I wake up in the morning and I've got like 10 more things to do. And it's like, oh man, I got to catch up again. I'll get there. But on the costuming front, I started leatherworking. Like, I started a new hobby, and I kind of just like casually put that out there when we did the Comic Palooza, but I remade our son's Mandalorian bandolier. And it's a hobby I've been wanting to get into for a while, and I was just like, oh, it's scary. And I was like, I have no idea how to do it. But when we talked to the Sunfields a few episodes back, they're big costumers. Obviously, they're like head of the 501st, but they're big costumers. And Justin kept telling me, he was like, you will love leatherworking. He's like, get into it. And so he told me, like, go look up Tandy Leather. That's like the store to go to for like buying leather and buying all the tools. And he was like, they'll help you out. They'll tell you everything you need to do. And so we did. We went to the store and they were like, you need this and this and this and this. And then one of the customers came in. He's like, you don't need all that stuff. He's like, you need these things. Leia Poppins. Betty Bantha using the whole animal.
Nothing goes to waste.
Right? We're on Tatooine. We gotta use what we got. I did tell Adam, I was like, our friend Adam is coming. He's a vegan and he's coming to hang out with us. And it's like, we're in Texas. I was like, I have like hides of leather in the house and like our walls are basically covered in butter. I was like, I don't know what to feed you, or like, I'm gonna have to hide all of our like
animal
products and propane accessories. No, but leatherworking's super fun. It's way easier than sewing, except for the sewing part of leather. That part's not as fun.
I think the cool thing about it is you got to such a great point. It being your first piece.
Thank you.
It was like, a really cool, bandolier or whatever. I think there's like techniques and stuff like that you could add to it, like the belt buckles and just like different features.
Yeah.
But like you being able to do the little magazine. Little loops, that was like super cool to see come together.
That was fun. Stressful.
I know,
but not super stressful. Not like sewing.
I think the thing that you got more stressed about was actually dyeing it, because you got the basic color and you dyed it to that,
the Mandalorian, like the really dark, rich, like chocolatey brown.
Yeah, which again, it's really cool because you started with one thing and ended up with a belt. So
yeah, it started out this color and it ended up dark brown. But it was neat. It was terrifying to dye it. But I went and bought like I was like, I want these dyes. And I bought like the little sample pack of like all the colors, because we want to do other projects. So just to get on it. But the nice thing is like it is very similar to sewing in that you can have patterns that you cut out and do all these things, but you don't have to do like seam allowances and hem allowances and then actually like fold things over and iron them and then sew down the hem. Like you just cut the leather. You can like kind of like round the edges a little bit and then you get this really cool like little it's like a cream, but yeah. And then there's like a little, I forget what it is, slicker. And you just like, and then your edges look like the edge of a belt. It's amazing. Yeah. Like it was so much fun to do.
I think that's what I want to be able to do for my Star Cruiser costume is make at least a belt or something.
Yeah. That's all. I have to do my hair. I'm wearing fake hair. Hair pieces, hair extensions of what I'm working with. And then I want a belt. And I'm going to try to fashion a belt in a way that like I have a little kind of a holster pouch for my phone because I don't think any of my pants have pockets. And then that's really...
Are you going to try to do like the wet, where you wet it and mold it?
And like basically wrap my phone in foil so that it doesn't get my phone wet.
Yeah.
Because what did I wet mold? Oh, I had to wet mold when I did the bullets, whatever they are. I don't know. What are they?
Cartridges.
I don't know what they are. But anyway, I had to wet mold that. But it's crazy. When you work with leather, you like try to bend it and you're like, ugh, and then you wet it and it goes, whoop. It's great. But no, it was really neat. I'm excited to see, like, I'm going to be the person giving out like leather goods for, you know what would be interesting? Can you embroider on leather? I don't know that I've ever seen it. Those are my two skills is embroidery. Not even that. I know how to like work a machine. I don't know. You
probably can if your machine is strong enough.
Ours is not strong enough.
Going through that leather is.
Cal says, "Are you going to join me on the path of the Scoundrel?" We did the Scoundrel path last time, and short answer, no. It was great. Yeah. The Scoundrel path is like really, really, really fun.
I think the hard thing is I feel like the Scoundrel path is my natural path. Mm-hmm. So because I'm going to try to do the Jedi path and being more serene, meditative. And
oh, that's you. All right.
That's where I've got to work on that.
Never had your name on your belt? No. I've never heard of that.
I don't think I ever did, but I know.
I mean, we live in Texas, so there
was a lot of belts.
But it was like not branded, but like embossed.
Yeah. I think that's what he's.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. I remember you work on. We're coming August 8th, so we'll be on it's a Monday voyage. I know you guys go by like days of the week. But yeah, I'm excited. Psycho says, "Are we all getting leather gifts for Christmas?" Wallets, yep, wallets and belts. So if I'm like hugging you guys, that's I'm just sizing you.
You're like, be like, why? Like he's like this size.
They'll be like, why is Sarah hugging everybody around their waist instead of their chest? I'm doing this like by them, like trying to see how tall they are. Like, would you like a bandolier? That wouldn't be so. That would be in the realm of norm for me. Just being weird.
Yeah.
Yep. Cal will be there as well on our voyage. Danny wants to do the resistance path. So we went more on the first voyage. I think we went in leaning resist. Not even really, because without no spoilers, but like one of the very first things you do when you get on your data pad is they ask you what path you're going down, just to kind of like gauge and see. And even if you pick something there, it doesn't necessarily force you down that path. It's just kind of like, we'll nudge you in that direction. But if you pick something else, so be it.
I think the big thing that changes your path is who you talk to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was our thing, is we leaned towards Wraith and Gaia. Mm-hmm. And then our son he did the more resistance stuff, so he was with Sammy. But I think it just depends on who you talk to. Like your datapad stuff kind of helps you along, but that's the main thing. Because with Croy, I don't feel like we talked to him at all.
No. He complimented me on like my gown that I wore the second night, and that was about the only interactions that we had with him. And like he would like ping us every once in a while on the datapad and be like, "You sure you don't want to help me?" And we were like, "No, we're good." But yeah, so this time we want to go more of the Jedi path because we didn't have any of that before. Mm-hmm. And so I think that would be a fun one to do. And then maybe if we go back a third time, if we go back, that time I think we will not bring the kids though, because we're going to have to share a cabin.
Probably, yeah.
But maybe we'll go first order. I don't know. If we get the right Croy.
Yeah.
Everybody goes crazy for that, for Adam's Croy. Like the lead Croy, yeah. He's just really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think that definitely converts you a certain way. So, because like if you get like a good character, you just kind of like gravitate towards them.
Yeah. Well, that's how it happened with Wraith because, well, before Star Cruise, we were on one of the first voyages, so we didn't know all of these like secondary characters that they hadn't announced yet. And we see this man with flowing gray salt and pepper locks come in the room with a drink, and he's just like, "Hey," and we were just like, "Who's that guy? We need to talk to that. Like that guy seems like a good time. Yeah. Like he seems like he's fun to hang out with." And so we went and talked to him, and we became Scoundrels.
Yeah, we just like,
and it was great. I loved that we just kind of showed up, and that's where my fear is this time is like because we want to try the Jedi path. Like if we don't get it, I think I'm still gonna be fine with it.
Well, I'm already. Again, I that's what I'm planning on doing. Like I'm planning to go the Jedi path, but I don't want to have it manipulated in the way where I'm like, I need to go this way, or just hanging around doing this, Jedi stuff. I want to still talk to everybody. I want to talk to like Sandro more, Wani, because those are other characters that we didn't talk to. So it's just kind of like spreading it around.
We got the hippie wraith. We had Robbie, probably the hippie wraith with the long. Oh, yeah. I love Robbie. I need to reach out to him because he's in the Finding Nemo show now. And so I was like, "What days do you work the Finding Nemo show? Because we'll come see you." And I'll yell, "Wraith for Ryloth." I won't do that. No. Probably. But yeah, Adam's Croy is really, really good. We haven't seen him in person. It'll be fun if we get him on this cruise. But we've also watched like a bunch of the YouTube videos of people that have gone on cruises just so we can like relive it and see what else there was out there.
Talking about that, watching people's videos and stuff, I don't like thinking about it now. Like I haven't watched a video on Star Cruiser in a while. Mm-mm. It really doesn't. The videos don't do it justice.
Not at all.
As far as like getting, I don't even know how to like really explain it, but like you get to see things and you see like one of the events, but it's almost just like the in between that you can't really document. Because sometimes you're just like hanging out Sublight Lounge, and something happens that is not necessarily part of the whole big thing. Mm-hmm. But just like the stormtroopers coming in with the little kid.
Yeah.
That was something different. Or Robbie playing the game with the guys. Like it's different things that you kind of.
It made it personal.
Yeah. So, and I think that's hard to, you can't really,
yeah.
There's nothing to.
I am glad
to say this is what this is.
Yeah. I am glad that they have like the portrait experience because that shows like, that helps to kind of like show how great it is. But there's no way to like fully put your personal experience into something that other people can relate to or like fully get.
Yeah.
Because, like, we walked out of we went to go check out the climate simulator, and we walked out, and there happened to be, SK was sitting there.
Yeah.
And we just like sat there and talked to him, and it was just the coolest thing. We got to, you notice his little M-band reader, and so we scanned it, and then we got to go on like a little adventure with SK, and there's just so...
Oh, speaking of M-bands, they just like announced the Magic Bands.
I know, Magic Band Plus.
Yeah.
That's a good segue into the last thing that we wanted to talk about. So yeah, it got announced early yesterday morning. Like, they came out with the news like really early, more so than usual.
Yeah.
That it was going to be dropped on July 27th in Walt Disney World. So not in Disneyland yet. I think they do have plans to bring it to Disneyland, but for now it's only going to be in Disney World. And there's just been like so much, it's not controversy, but just so much like talk around Magic Band Plus that I'm glad that we finally have a date, and it's soon and it's coming out, because it was announced prior to the 50th anniversary, which was October 1st of last year.
That was a long time ago.
And it is coming out July 27th. It's coming out a full whatever many months that is later. That's like almost 10 months later that it's coming out. Part of it, one of the big things, yes, Matthew, do you know Matthew Benson? He was the one that he like messaged me like right after he was like, I got to test it. And then I saw his video and I like freaked out. But one of the big things that they're touting about Magic Band Plus is that Fab 50 quest, where you can go and like collect all 50 of the statues around the parks, which we have to do. This is a new thing we didn't know we needed to crush into the 3 days that we're at the parks. So forget Guardians of the Galaxy. That'll be there after the 50th is over. We'll talk about that too. Yeah. But that's one of the biggest things. It's that. There's the Batu Bounty Hunters, which we seen a little bit of it, and then like it interacts with like the nighttime shows, like the 2 nighttime shows, and then I think it said it also interacts with like the 4 beacons, like the beacons at each of the parks.
Oh, okay.
But if the 50th, that Fab 50 quest is such a big part of it starting, the fact that it's already 10 months late to an 18-month, like it's
they're
more
gonna
than
keep it for another year, I think.
they're gonna have to, right?
Yeah.
Because people have now 8 months to go do this and experience it, and like great for locals, but for people like us that want to go visit and do all these things, we still haven't. I mean, we haven't seen all of the 50th statues ourselves. So if that's one of the big things, what is after the 50th anniversary for Magic Band?
Yeah, I think another thing, and we were kind of talking about this, is people, like, I don't, to kind of go on to the question if they're going to have it for Star Cruiser, I don't think they're going to have it for Star Cruiser, because there's nothing on Star Cruiser yet for it to be used.
Not that I know of, no.
And even the Batu Bounty Hunters, that's not really part of your Star Cruiser stuff. And really, you wouldn't want to waste your time doing that, or you wouldn't give enough time.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't think it's going to be part of Star Cruiser for a while. Now, if they start putting bounty hunts on Star Cruiser, then it's a definite yes. It's something to go do. But even after that, I think this is just the evolution of Magic Bands. Mm-hmm. Because if I recall, they're not giving resort guests the solid color ones anymore, right?
No. They stopped doing that, I think, after the pandemic.
So now you're having to buy them. So
you still get a discount if you're a resort guest and you buy it ahead of time and have it shipped to you. But, yeah.
But I think it's going to basically evolve to the regular Magic Bands that you're going to have to buy. Those prices are probably going to come down.
Mm-hmm. And they'll stop making so many of them.
Yeah, it'll just kind of go away, and it'll be just Magic Band Plus.
Yeah.
And that becomes just the normal Magic Band. Now, how they integrate it into everything, because again, the price is not crazy compared to the Magic Band. So
I know, that's the surprising thing. I don't know the pricing for Magic Band, regular Magic Band right now. I think the plain colored ones are like 15. They may have gone up to 20, but I think for the most part, Magic Bands are like 25 to 40 more if you do like the super limited edition ones. It's $35 for the Magic Band Plus. So they have to be.
I think they're just kind of phasing out.
Yeah. And I think eventually they probably will do the Magic Band Plus for Star Cruiser, but I think it's not, I think they've got to like get through old inventory would be my guess. And then also I think they need to develop and implement the ways that Magic Band Plus can be integrated with Star Cruiser. Because if you're getting Magic Band Plus when you arrive, but then there's nothing for you to do on the ship, then you're going to kind of be like, well, why do I have this then?
Yeah. Well, yeah, as far as, again, Star Cruiser, I don't think yet until they have something more for it.
But could you imagine if it like, here's what I think it would be used for, is you're wearing it and we know that it does like vibrations and sound and stuff. Like if it would vibrate to tell you like, oh, you have a meeting at this time, it would be like, and then like a kind of hotter, colder, like where you're supposed to go. Or during times when like you're in the atrium and the force is being used, like you feel it.
I think if it were to use the force, like it'll, vibrate when you're using the force or whatever.
Yeah.
That's going to, especially the Jedi scene.
Yeah. Having
that vibrate while you're using the force is going to be super cool.
Yeah, it would be. It's weird to me that they didn't put that functionality in right away. Yeah. Here, I'll talk for a bit. Our little toddler came up here. We thought they were asleep, but both of them have now come up at this point. So I think Steven's going to go try to put them down. We were trying to be cool parents and like, you guys can stay up. You can go watch TV in our bed and just chill for a little bit. And then this is what we get. But that's okay. Yeah, our oldest came up and he was kind of like running around behind the cameras and just being silly. So we told him to go downstairs and now the little one's up. So that's, thankfully it's summer, right? Like it's okay that they stay up later. It's little Leia has entered the studio. And no surprise that she's just does whatever she wants. But yeah, in terms of Magic Band Plus, I wish that they would integrate it to Star Cruiser in some way, and I wish that they would give Star Cruiser guests the Magic Band Plus whenever you arrive. Now, like I said, I understand why they're not doing it, because if you get it and then there's no functionality on the ship itself, and really the only functionality that can be used during your Star Cruiser voyage is the Batuu Bounty Hunt, because there's no 50th statues on Galaxy's Edge. So it's really just the Batuu Bounty Hunt. That's kind of, as fun as that's going to be, it's going to take you out of your Star Cruiser story to do it. So I get why they're not doing it. But at the same time, for the price that you're paying to be on Star Cruiser, the fact that you don't get a Magic Band Plus feels weird. And I just feel like they announced this thing and they had hopes to get it all out well before they actually did. You're back. What'd you do? Did you just like...
No, she wanted water.
Don't leave your room.
No, she wanted water.
Oh. So. They're both still awake, huh? Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness. It's summer. It's the weekend. Yeah. It's fine. But yeah, so one of the other things is, I talked about it for a second. Once the 50th anniversary is over, say it ends in 8 months like it's supposed to. The only thing, there's literally nothing to do in Animal Kingdom with the Magic Band Plus, because all of the statues will be gone. So remove that from all 4 of the parks. The other thing there is the Batuu Bounty Hunt. That's at Hollywood Studios, right? So you remove all 4 of the statues. You still have Batuu Bounty Hunt at Hollywood Studios, so you're good there. You still have the fireworks at Magic Kingdom that you can interact with, and then you still have the fireworks at Epcot. There's literally nothing else to do unless like interacting with the Tree of Life.
Yeah, I don't know.
there has to be.
Each park has to have something.
Has to have something. They have to have some sort of a scavenger hunt. At Animal Kingdom, how easy would it be to turn that Wilderness Explorers and integrate Magic Band Plus into it?
Oh, so the part of it that
The fake Batu bounty hunt. Sorry, Dano.
the part of it where maybe they don't need it at Animal Kingdom is the whole thing behind it. The whole idea behind Animal Kingdom is conservation, being more with nature, and maybe they don't have the technology. They just say you're doing more things with your hands type of thing, you know?
But I think I agree with that. And I agree the vibe of Animal Kingdom is very different than the other parks, and that you are supposed to disconnect because they have the Wilderness Explorers. And if you don't know what that is, it's a super cute little, it's like a Girl Scout or a Boy Scout. Like it's a little booklet, and you do the Wilderness Explorers, and you do like the and you have a little pledge that you do and you sign up for it. And then you go find all these different stations, and there's a cast member at each station that teaches you something to help you earn a badge. And it's either like learning about different cultures or learning about different animals or conservation techniques. And you go all around the park, and you can keep that book and you can use it.
It's like a passport. It's like a passport.
Yeah.
It has like little stickers.
So you like the little sticker you get is like a little badge, and you put it in there. And you can use that same one over and over again until you fill them all up. I don't know that we may have finally filled ours up after years, after 5 years of trying.
Well, because we like started over.
I know. We had to I went and like peeled the stickers off one and put them on the other. But it's really fun for the kids to go run around and do. But if there's no Magic Band functionality at one of the 4 parks, like.
But again, it's not, the price of it is not gouging you.
It's not gouging you.
So it's just an upgrade to add, a few features.
But remember in the before times when they did have a nighttime show at Animal Kingdom, they don't have fireworks at that park because there are live animals there. But they did have like this water show. Like there's a lot of water in Animal Kingdom, and they have like floats come out and lights and all these things. They could, if they bring that back or bring it back in a new way, they could have the Magic Band Plus interact with that and just vibrate. And it's weak to me, but they could at least have some functionality at that park.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're needing functionality.
Yeah, just vibrate at specific points during the ride. Like, I think they could easily, a Buzzy Light-Up bracelet. Hands, boring. I need a Buzzy Light-Up bracelet. Yeah, like stuff in Pandora. I think they could do something. I don't know what. I'm not smart enough to know what.
I feel then if it's just vibrating, it's gonna
diminish.
Well, it's gonna say, well, over here you have a game where it'll tell me that I'm close, I'm not close. This one, it goes with the fireworks, it's synced with the fireworks. This is just vibrates. Like, people are gonna get upset because it doesn't do something.
But will people be upset that it's doing a little something, or being upset that it's not doing anything at all in that park?
Well, if you intentionally say, we're not doing anything here because this is what this is about.
Yeah.
Like, this is about, you connecting with nature.
Okay. My next point, Magic Kingdom. The only thing there will be to do there is the fireworks.
I think that...
And Epcot.
Well, what is it? The Sorcerers.
The Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom.
I think that's going to be either replaced by the Wish game or the bands.
Yeah. And maybe that's why Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom went away, so that they could repurpose. Because it was pretty technologically, like, it involved a lot more technology than you would have expected a card game to have.
Yeah.
Like, I was surprised by how savvy it was. So maybe they just do the same. It's the new Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom. Yeah. And they do that, and they redo the Pirates game over in Adventureland.
Before I forget.
Okay.
I want to point out
Oh, God.
That patent that we talked about in one of our early episodes was the technology used in the Bounty Hunters game, because it's like
You were right. But we knew you were going to be right.
so. I'm proud of myself that
Oh, God.
I was able to
Proud
decipher
of you,
it.
too. You want to hold hands over it?
No, thank you.
Okay. Why are you so uncomfortable with holding my hand? There's nobody here.
Everybody here.
Oh. If anybody ever sees Steven hold my hand in public, something is probably wrong with him.
I don't know why you got to put me on the spot like that.
I don't know why you can't hold my hand in public. I mean, it's always been this way, and I'm used to it. And I just love to.
You knew what you were getting into, so.
I did. It's a good thing you have other qualities.
Not hand holding.
Hand holding in public, not one of them. Right? You're taking your leg down because you won't hold my hand.
Oh, no.
That was a finger, like a fingertip. There, I did it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I embarrassed you.
Thanks. I'm getting flushed.
Sidebar. I like to ask our children what they enjoyed about their day, and I asked our daughter on the way home, and she said, I flushed the toilet.
I mean, that's.
I said, what was something that happened today that you had a lot of fun doing? I flushed the toilet.
I mean, that could be fun.
I was like, all right, man. If that brought you joy, you've got a low bar, and I like it. But yeah, in terms of Magic Band Plus, I think the bounty hunt is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a new thing to keep you in Galaxy's Edge. But that also kind of worries me because there are so many things to do. Yes, from a technology standpoint, like it's just going to drain our phones even more. And yes, I love Star Wars, so I don't mind reasons to be in Galaxy's Edge more. But I also want things to pull people out of Galaxy's Edge so I can have it to myself. So, like, why can't you do something over at Toy Story Land?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, didn't the restaurant's coming? And didn't Jesse's? Or is that over?
I think they just, like, redecorated the gift shop as you're exiting Toy Story Mania. I think that's what it was.
Okay.
I saw it on WDWNT, and I was like, I will not click on this. But I will look at the pictures, and I was like, I think that's what that is. It was just like the
Yeah, they redid it.
exit through the gift shop type thing. Yeah.
And but yeah, the restaurant's coming too, over there.
Yeah, it is. I think it's like pretty far along too. I don't know when it's going to open up, but it'll be nice to have another. I think it's a sit-down restaurant, which is something that Hollywood Studios lacks big time.
And Launch Bay opened up, so we're probably gonna have to
We're
go make a
gonna
stop
get
over
some
there.
Chewy hugs and go see BB-8.
Yeah,
Tiny BB-8. Why didn't they build him to scale?
he is to scale.
Is he to scale?
Yeah.
I feel like he's small.
No,
It's
'cause
his neck's little.
His neck is a little bit shorter.
You saw it backstage. You saw the restaurant backstage. Yeah. Okay. It's a redress of the existing gift shop. Yep, and it's a table service restaurant. It's like barbecue, I think.
I'm down.
It'll be fine. It's Florida. It's not like it's
Although
trying
I
to
like
keep.
that. That's the tater tots. So
I know you do. You and your tater tots.
I'm a simple man. What can I say? So
I don't know. I mean, we'll probably go eat barbecue one time, but we also do live in Texas, so like, barbecue's aplenty here.
Yeah.
We had barbecue for dinner tonight, kind of.
So what are your things that we have to do on this next trip that you're kind of making that?
Have our costumes ready?
Well, no, because we're gonna do Disney right before. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of. I'll start. I'm kind of making.
Oh, okay. Thanks for asking me a question.
Just so to let you think.
Okay.
Making Cosmic Rewind. Getting a ride on that.
I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't think through the planning of this trip enough. But there are, if you're staying at a deluxe resort on Monday nights, you get like extra magic hours at Epcot. And so you get the ability to join a virtual queue starting at 6 p.m. that's just for deluxe resort guests. So you can go ride it again in the evening. Even if you rode it during the day, you can go ride it again in the evening. We board Star Cruiser on Monday. And we're staying at a deluxe resort this time, which is something we have never, ever done. Yeah. I think that's what I'm excited about is like we're staying at a really nice resort and we have a theme park view. So we get to watch the Magic Kingdom fireworks.
That'll be cool.
So I'm very excited for that because we don't have to deal with crowds, and that is lovely for once.
I wonder if it plays music through.
I was going to ask when we check in, like, is there a TV station we can turn on? If not, we can go find like a YouTube. I think they played it on like Disney Plus, didn't they, or something? Maybe we can find it something, the soundtrack somewhere. Good night, Danny.
Yeah, Dano.
Yes. The thing that I'm excited about, Cosmic Rewind, yes, but you stole my answer. The Hoop-Dee-Doo musical review.
Oh, yeah.
We've never done that. It seemed like something cool to do, but we didn't realize it was going to be yanked away from us, just like most things in the last 2.5 years. And so now it's back, and we're going.
Well, I think that's the thing is you're all, you always, not you, but just kind of like, oh, I'll do it next time. I'll do it next time.
Yeah.
And sometimes it won't be a next time.
Won't be a next time. We should ride Splash Mountain. We've never ridden Splash Mountain.
Yeah. Ride it before it changes.
Because we're afraid of, they pump out the music to the resorts. See, I know they pump it out to the resorts. So if we wanted to go watch it like from one of the decks out there, like I know the clubs at the resort, the monorail resorts will play it. And like some of the restaurants will. But I don't know if they'll do it in your room. Mm. I know we need to ride Splash. I don't want to be wet. That's the only reason I don't want to ride it. Is I don't want to be wet and miserable.
So.
Oh my gosh. There's like an Amber Alert.
Pick up your phone.
Sorry if that hurt your ears. Oh, this is a different one. I'll put my phone on the floor. There was an Amber Alert. I got like 2 or 3 messages on that one today. I had a question today. Is Amber Alert something that happens outside of Texas?
I believe so.
Are you sure?
I believe so.
Non-Texas people, do you guys have Amber Alerts? Yes. Okay. But didn't it start in Texas? Am I making that up?
I mean, Texas is big.
I also heard it is country lights. Silver alerts. So we also had a silver alert today. Was Amber a Texan? I don't remember. But we had a silver alert today. And I was like, oh my God, we had like 2 Amber alerts and a silver alert. And then I know that Amber, why can't I say Amber? How strong were these drinks? Amber. I know Amber was the name of the girl, and then the dad created this whole system to help other missing children. But I was like, well, it's weird that like Amber is also a color, and then there's silver alerts. Oh. And I was like, that's strange. It was just a weird coincidence I saw today. It popped into my head, so now it's coming out, and it lives in your heads now. A silver alert is, my battery died on my laptop. Silver alerts are when older people go missing. Yeah. It's an Amber Alert, but for elderly people. But yeah, there's so much potential with Magic Band Plus, and it lends itself so well to Star Wars because the Force and the vibrations and that stuff. But I'm sure it can be applied to like pixie dust and magic and all kinds of other things.
Yeah.
Like remember Enchanted Tales with Belle? Like imagine when you're in Maurice's cottage and it does, without giving any of the secrets away because nobody's been able to experience this in like years, there's magic that happens and all of a sudden you are transported from Maurice's cottage into the castle in this like really cool way. Like imagine as that magic was happening if your magic band is like...
So...
Because I still don't know how they did that.
So for me, because I play video games, I need the haptic feedback to be something that enhances the experience, not just an alarm to like notice that it's on my arm. like, I don't want to feel it when it's happening, if that makes sense. Like, I want to feel it, but I don't want to be like, oh, like jolting. Like, I want to enhance my experience. Do you want like
a collar, like a magic band collar?
No, I want it to enhance the experience. Like, if it's fireworks, if I'm watching it, you already feel the fireworks kind of going off. But this just enhances that feeling of the fireworks. Yeah. The Batu Bounty Hunters, it's moving you in a direction. Yeah. So it's kind of like, okay, it's good, it's not, it's, you know, where I'm supposed to go. So it enhances that experience. I don't want it to just
because.
Just be beeping because.
Just be beeping.
Yeah. So like that's where I'm kind of like, I don't need it all the time.
But here's the thing.
I need it to be when it
does 3 things. It vibrates, it lights up. I'm pretty sure there's sounds.
What does your magic band do now?
None of the things, and I don't have to think about it. That's the thing.
And I think that's the thing is like your magic band doesn't do anything now. It's adding just a little bit.
You know what? It makes the money on the screen go away whenever.
Well, it's gonna still do that.
It says you owe $200, and I go, no, I don't. It's a 0.
It'll still do that. So fear not. But I think that for me is I don't want that. I don't want it to just like be going off, vibrating, because then I'm going to find it annoying.
Fair.
Because the same thing, like if you're getting a bunch of text messages, you're just kind of like, I'm not even paying attention when it could be something important within those text messages.
It's like the boy who cried wolf is what you're saying.
Or like a group chat. Ugh. You know, you're like, oh, I don't want people to be a part of it. But then you get a good text, a text message that's important. Yeah. You miss it because you're like, oh, it's just a group talking.
So, but they're implementing this technology. So what are they doing with it? We've waited, and that's where it comes back to what we were talking about at the very beginning. It's like they announced it a year ago. It's barely coming out now, more than halfway through the 50th anniversary, which is the crux of the initial integration with this technology. So what happens after? How are they thinking about it? They have to be.
They have to be thinking about it. I think the concerns I would have is how long they're going to last. If it's haptic, like...
They're rechargeable.
Rechargeable, okay.
So it's one more thing that you have to charge on your chip. How long is the battery going to last? Yeah. Are we going to have to buy... We just got those, like, chargers in. Are we going to have like, special chargers?
I think that would be more concerning than how they're going to implement it into. Because, again, just, spitballing ideas. Hey, can we try to do this? Can we, they're going to figure out ways to implement it into things.
And that's the thing, is as long as they're doing...
But again, I want it to be different. I don't want to have Batu Bounty Hunters at Epcot. Batu Bounty Hunters at, it's the same system. I don't want that. I want different experiences.
But how fun... Ooh, how about this? How fun would it be? You're at Animal Kingdom, right? And you're just walking around, living your life, and you hear like a caw! And you're like, did you hear that? And you hear caw! And you're like, is that my magic band? And you start walking, and it caws like more and more and louder, and then it's Kevin.
So...
Oh, I was excited about that one.
The part of it, it's how it's going to receive that data. I right now, I'm in my head, I'm thinking, again, because I don't know too much on it, the bounty hunt makes sense because you're activating it to say, hey, start this game. And you go do it and you come back. Like the fireworks, how is that going to work? And same thing with like the 50th.
It's proximity based. Well,
but proximity to what on the fireworks?
There's probably like a huge chip under the castle. There's no dragon under this castle.
But I mean, not everybody's gonna be next to the castle. There's just gonna be a ton of them everywhere. They're gonna be putting out this
everywhere
frequency. So
you're gonna wear your tin hat to the.
I guess so.
I mean, we sleep with our phones like feet from our head every night.
Yeah.
So if we're going to get weird brain waves and radio waves and microwaves, like what's a few more at this point?
So I don't know. I mean, for me, that's where I'm more, I don't want too much.
That's fair. But I think they could implement it in interesting ways. Forgive us. We are going to have to squint like old people now because can you make that bigger? Can you embiggen? No. Magic Band ears. Oh my gosh.
Well, see, didn't they have those ears that went with the fireworks at Epcot?
Oh, for like one holiday special, and then
But I mean,
nobody bought them. Yeah, they did. I mean, they weren't Magic Band, but they lit up.
And they were synced with the...
And synced with the music. Yeah. Oh my gosh, like I cannot see this at all. Can you? I'm gonna pull up my phone.
Yeah.
Oh. Forgive our old eyes. My phone has plenty of battery, so we are all good there. Oh. All right, let's catch up.
Catch me up.
Dano dyes his beard? That's hilarious.
What?
Do you really? You do not. Oh. I'm going to tell you, just let it go. Be yourself, okay? As the salt and pepper advocate over here.
Oh.
Hope the battery lasts a few days at least, hopefully a week. I'm guessing that it's going to last for a good while because Magic Bands, like, they have batteries in them, but they last for like years.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't require much, and they're not like constantly pinging these, like, is it NFC? Is it RFID? Are those the same thing?
I think RFID. But I think the thing is those are just putting out a signal, not bringing in a signal.
Yeah.
So where the Magic Band is, it's actually, looking for...
Oh, Dano dyes his hair. Why not your beard then?
Wants to stay distinguished.
I guess so. Kinda. Dano, we are like siblings. He says kinda because he's been going gray since he was 16. I was 15 when I started going gray. And then I was coloring my hair every like 3 to 4 weeks, and I was sick of it and having to dye it around like, okay, well, if Thanksgiving is this week and then Christmas is 4 weeks later, when do I dye my hair so I have fresh hair for both? And then the pandemic hit, and I was finally like, you know what? I'm not seeing anybody for 2 weeks until we go back to the office. It's like, let me see what it looks like. And then, ba-da-dang. I think I need to cut it. Because you can see like I just need to cut this part off of it. But now that it's long, I don't want to cut it. We'll see. We'll see if I do it. What? Dano says that he had a bright red mohawk.
I had a bright orange mohawk.
And that's when I fell in love with you. That's truly when I like fell for you. You had I don't think it was meant to be orange.
No, it was supposed to be blonde, but I have very dark hair, and I dyed it myself, so it came out orange. And then the worst part is I got a different job at work where I had to be a little bit more. I worked at Walmart, so I was working in the office, so I needed to not have my hair orange. So they said you have to, dye your hair. So I was a company man. I tried to dye my hair black, ended up turning green.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. So, because it didn't. It just.
Yeah,
I killed my hair. So.
Yeah. I just remember you having the mohawk, and then I just remember you having like normal hair. Like there had to have been some kind of transition between the two. You can't go from a mohawk to anything else except like shaving your head.
I mean, I think I kind of go through those phases of just like shaving it.
Yeah.
So I never really have like a consistent like, oh, that's my haircut, my hairstyle. So
when I was pulling pictures, dude, did y'all see he only posted mine. Mike from Hondo Supply made us boarding passes, like IDs for Star Cruiser. So good. But he was like getting after me the other day, and he was like, I need pictures, J-Mac. And I was like, hold on. And I was trying to go look at pictures from our first Star Cruiser voyage, but you had hair then.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't know if he's ever going to grow his hair back out. So I got to find pictures. So thank God we took pictures at Comic Palooza last week. And you had like your droid, because I think he like put you as like a droid builder or something. I forget what occupation he put on yours. But Hondo was great because he was just like, he said he was going to make them. And we're paying for them. But he said he was going to make them. And I was just like, do what you want. I was like, I'm excited. I know he's going to.
I like the color scheme because it's like my blue and orange.
I told him you like those colors, but he was going to go with those colors anyway. And then he was like, I'm going to make yours really high class, Sarah. And then he did. And then he had like some issues with it. So he's redoing mine, I think. But
yeah, I like it. It came out good.
But mine's like transparent kind of.
Yeah.
That's going to be so cool. And it has, I don't know if you noticed, but on both of ours, it has the Airbus translator on the back. So that'll be nice too. So I'm excited. But then I was like, we got to incorporate those into our outfits. Like we have to be able to clip them somehow because both of ours have Magic Band Plus technology.
Yeah.
Like they have a chip in them so you can just like put your phone up to it and then it'll pull up mine pulls up my Instagram profile. You're not that active on your Instagram, so it pulls up Princess and Scoundrel. Yeah. But it's really cool. Yeah. It's way better than what we did at Celebration. Dano and I, we made, he posted Stevens on Facebook. Well, there you go. Yeah. But for, what was it, Dana? Was it for Celebration? We made like phone backgrounds and it had like a big QR code and then I forgot to have people scan it. Womp womp. Yeah, we had the QR codes. It was helpful when we remembered to use them. But we need to get better about like, we need cards. I think we need physical cards we can pass out to. I know. Ugh. But like at
I refuse.
The thing is like I was talking to people at the Star Cruiser booth, like Disney people at the Star Cruiser booth, and they were like, "Oh, what's your business? Do you have a business card on you?" And I was like, "I don't." I was like, "It's 2022."
The one I liked, it was Bad Batch. She got Mike's
the ID card.
Yeah, she got the ID card as like a sticker.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's genius. That was like, really, really smart.
An ID card and
yeah,
because like 501st they do a lot of their character cards like that too. So it's just like a dual purpose.
Dano, right? Who are we? The Flintstones using business cards? I know. I never ordered business cards for the travel. Like I designed
Christian Bale, like looking at the weight of the card and the paper type.
The thing is, I designed the business cards for our travel agency, and then I just like never bought any for myself because I'm like I'm not going to carry them around.
I think that's the thing is like it's not something that now you really, because technology is so available,
everywhere, man.
It's and it's more direct too, because I mean you could just do the virtual cards and.
Blue Ties is asking boarding passes from Hondo Supply. Yes, from Hondo Supply. If you go check out his latest reel on Instagram, and then Dano says that he posted Stevens, their ours look very different from each other, but they're both like amazing. Yeah.
Which so I think is super cool because
we should have ordered them. Like
he in all of his cards, they take elements from who he's making it for. Mm-hmm. So they oh my gosh.
Do you want more?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
But no, they're similar in ways, but they're all different and unique to each of the people that they're going to, right?
Well, he does like droid ones too. I don't know if you've seen that. Like you could get a little one. It's different than the way ours look, but you could get one for like BD and you can get another one for BB-8.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be cute. Because especially like last time you were going as a droid builder, it would have been cute if you had like a little identification. Like if you were wearing BD on this one, it'd be cute if you had like identification for your droid too.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. How cute would that be? We are siblings. He said cheers. Owen Rogers asked, do you guys have video of your BB-8? How long did it take to build?
I don't have video.
We don't.
Probably need to. Probably need to charge him up and
We
just
haven't
get him rolling around.
Yeah, we haven't activated him. He's been sleeping for months now.
Well, because I've been working on BD. But it took me probably a little over a year. And that's not working straight,
Yeah.
BB-8. Because there was a lot of, like, learning that I did, printing, reprinting. And some of these panels were, 24 hours, 36 hours.
Making spaghetti.
Yeah, and then making spaghetti. So it was definitely a journey.
When we say making spaghetti, that's when your print fails and it just like shoots out little filament that looks like spaghetti. It's like a nest. Yeah. That's what it was. Remember, it was like one time you're like, hey, can you go check my print? And I'm like,
spaghetti.
I was like, I don't think it's right. I was like, are you making spaghetti?
Well, the thing is like, even our son, if it was good, he knew it was like, okay, it's fine. Or he's like, oh, it's spaghetti, Dad. So I was like, okay, well, let me shut it off because it's a fail. But yeah, it took me a good while to put it all together. And I'm trying to think.
You started building it right when Force Awakens came out.
Yeah.
And then but here's the thing is like you built one.
Yeah, so no, Force Awakens I built the first one.
You built your first one.
After Celebration, it was probably a good 3-4 months. No, not even. It was probably like a good year after. Because I think Last Jedi.
I don't remember when you started it, but you finished it in February of 2020.
Yeah, it might have been.
It may have taken you a little while. But the other thing was like you upgraded to a bigger 3D printer at that time so you could print bigger pieces. Yeah. And then the skeleton inside of the rolling one is like aluminum, right?
No, that was injecting.
I thought you had like don't you have like a metal cage in one of them?
No.
Oh.
No, I had to get, I built it off, if you're aware of the Builders Club, the Carrie Christie, it's one of the droid builders. Like, he's like the main BB-8 builder. And if you were at Celebration, he has the BB-8 where it's like a wheel. It's like I think it's CB.
Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember the name of it.
Super cool.
Oh, that's amazing.
Cool. But it's like his design, and he actually like water jet cut aluminum for some of the parts that needed strength. So it's like some of the spin.
But you bought like a special skeleton for the new one, and then you bought like special screws for you leveled up your second one a lot more. I mean, it rolls.
Yeah,
the first one didn't roll. Yeah, it's use spaghetti bits. Can you put the spaghetti bits back in the printer, or is it just lost supply?
Now I think there's ways to be able to heat it up. Basically, you would have to grind it down and then heat it up.
People do it.
Yeah, it's a lot more difficult because if you're using the same material like PLA, you want to kind of keep your filament clean. If that's you want to say that is you don't want to have other things in it because then it could just mess up in the future. So that's the only bad thing about it. But people do use it in other ways where they'll melt it down and use it for like they'll make molds like silicone, like for trays or other stuff like that. So I think the biggest thing that I've seen recently that they want to kind of change is a lot of the spools, they're on plastic spools. And so when you're using them, you're using like 6-7 spools to do a project. So you have just like a ton of plastic spools. So a lot of the, 3D printer people, they're just kind of saying, just go to like a cardboard type of spool or like a reusable spool. So just sell me the roll, and I put my other spool back on.
Yeah, that
So
makes a lot of sense.
Just so you're not
you don't
wasteful, because that's kind of one of the things with 3D printing is like you're trying not to be as wasteful as
you're trying to make something fit for purpose, but you're having to use all these materials, and it's just like any craft. But you actually made like a really cool carrier out of one of the spools.
Yeah, it's like just for bolts and.
But yeah, it would make sense. Just like get the filament, kind of shrink wrap it, and that way you can just put it on a.
So I know that's kind of one of the like. Again, not a big movement, but just something like, hey, let's start going.
It's not as terrible as like K-cups. I'm not going to populate the world with used K-cups. Dana says there are recyclers for ruined filament now. The nozzle clogs so easily. Cal says he almost ruined his Mandalorian gauntlets by letting the paint dry in the Texas sun.
Oh, yeah.
I remember we did a lot of tests where it was like, let's leave this print out in the sun for a few days and see what it does. You were even scared because we had Beatty in the back of the car after the convention, and we were going to go eat.
I was basically chalking him up. I was just like, all right, well, if we're leaving him in the car in the Texas heat, I was like, he's gone.
It's going to be a puddle, a black and yellow puddle. Poor baby. So, he was fine. Yeah. Well, we haven't turned him on. Did you turn him
on? Not recently.
But yeah, it was.
But that's the thing is that even I would have to like really look at it because it'll just like shrink pieces. I think that's the thing is like you won't really notice it unless you start like trying to pull things apart and move things. Wait a minute, it's like a lot tighter. So it doesn't. It just depends on in which way it deforms.
So just thinking back on this whole conversation that we've had tonight, we have too many hobbies, too many crafts we do. Yeah. Too many skills we're not skilled at.
I mean, that's one of those things I'm like just good enough to get in trouble.
I do need your help with a craft that I can do part of, but I need your help designing it. Because here's the thing is like, I can execute, no problem. I can thread an embroidery machine, no big deal, and make whatever needs to be made on the embroidery machine. I can sew. Sewing's a skill. But we're doing a little Wani costume for our little Leia. And we're actually doing a little Leia costume too. But her boots, on her boots, she has this like gold, like decals at the top of them. Wani kind of wears like purple cowboy boots. But at the top of them, she's got this like scrolly gold detail. And so I picked up some gold vinyl from the craft store, and I need you to design me some stuff for her little boots that I got her. Okay. Please, thank you. I can't do it. I can't design that stuff.
Yeah, I mean.
It's lost on me. So please help me with that. We're all becoming a little Adam Savages. Sarah, the wife, and I are taking Walt Disney trip again. That's exciting. Skydance Don says, what printer do you have? He has the CR, is that 10S Pro?
I have the Raise 3D.
Ooh, somebody had a friend that his droid did melt in the car. It could have been us.
It's sad.
Canva doesn't let you design boots. I know, Dano. I know my limitations. That terrible video I put up today that was like, let's talk magic bands. Like it was your video and I just put some text over it. And I sent it to you to bless it. But I was like, I know he's going to hate my terrible limited design skills. I got nothing.
Yeah.
Sorry. You won't hold my hand, but you can design some stuff on the computer. All right. I'm pretty sure our children are still awake.
No, I think they're asleep. It's pretty quiet down there.
It is. I heard them like maybe 20 minutes ago. But do you want to stay up and keep chatting or do you want to go to bed?
No, we can go check on them.
Okay. I do have to wake up and book dining or Star Cruiser stuff tomorrow. It always falls on the weekend. It's not bad. I only have to get up early one day this weekend, and that's tomorrow.
That's good.
Yeah, I was going to have to get up and book dining Sunday, but that's taken care of already, so whew.
Good.
All right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us. The big camera. You
Maybe
can see
the
our
last time that you see us from this
yes,
camera.
we didn't even talk about that.
Next time.
Hondo works a mysterious way. Hondo is just, he's like truly a smuggler. Like a legit smuggler. But we should have a new camera on the way.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it ends
Hopefully.
up.
Hopefully you don't see us in like this like early 2000s quality on this camera for much longer. And this camera's not sitting like 15 feet away from us. So it can catch enough of it can have a wide enough angle to catch us.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. And we won't have another live stream for probably a month.
Jeez.
Unless we like do this at weekly. But 2 weeks from now we'll be in Disney World. So
maybe we'll pop in and we'll say hey from one of the resorts.
Maybe. But thank you again for hanging out with us. We appreciate you, and we will see you next time. Bye. Oh, we have our things over. Okay, bye.